What is up, Texas hockey fans? We're back. It's the new year. I know we had an episode last week, but we're back. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 3 episodes a week. We're back. Christmas vacation, New Year's vacation is over. Texas hockey has been a little shaky, a little 5-game shakiness, but it's going to be okay. We're going to talk you through it on today's Clean Sheet of Ice, a Texas Hockey Podcast. I'm your host, Stone Strinkman, joined always by Dom Garcia. How we doing, bud?
You know, Stone, we did get a point today, but
Sure.
when you say that they've lost in, what is it, 5 now, it doesn't feel that way. Like they're in some battles with some of these teams, and it's just a little bit of wonkiness and not putting 3 periods together. But like, we know this team; they're one weekend away from being the hottest team, second hottest team in the league. Because man, Colorado looks unbeatable at this point.
Yeah, Colorado's just on a completely different planet, and expected goals scored, all the things. Colorado just looks absolutely nasty, and credit to them. They figured it out. They put it together. They did, however, lose their captain today. Scary play for Landeskog crashing into the net after getting tripped by one of the Panthers. Not great, so hoping he's okay. But without him, we saw what the Avalanche could do for 3 seasons. But yeah, the Stars lost to the Red Wings and the Blackhawks. We covered those two. It was OT, shootout. So you're gaining points there. It's fine. It is what it is. You lose to the Sabres on New Year's Eve, 4-1, hottest team in hockey, is what it is. Losing that Thursday game to the Blackhawks was not very fun because I'm on the East Coast now. Right now I'm in Georgia, and it's like 8:30 starts. And for us old men, we like to go to bed fairly early, like relatively early. And when it starts that late, I get really sleepy. And after I saw the Blackhawks go up 3-1, I said, you know what? I'm gonna save my peace. I didn't see that. That didn't happen to me. So I went to sleep, and I missed the little miniature comeback where they got it to 4-3 with 16 seconds left. That's a tough one. You didn't play well. You kept going on the PK. Just a lot of penalties, I think, is what we've kind of noticed over the last 5-6 games, is that they're taking more penalties than they should be. And that's not ideal. It's not ideal. They put them on the power play 4 times, and the Blackhawks scored twice. So not ideal. You lost by a goal. You gave them 2 power plays goals. So it is what it is. But I think it's a lot of power plays that you're giving up, and too many penalties that you're taking, and just a little sloppiness. I don't want to. It's not laziness; it's sloppiness. I think is what's happening in the O zone and in the D zone. Quite frankly.
Yeah, it's being out of position, not for a long time, but it literally takes 1 second in the wrong spot. And unfortunately, both Jake and Casey have had to deal with this past couple games. But luckily, that's an issue you can fix on a team. You know, sometimes you just don't have the scoring. Dallas does have the scoring. Dallas has the defense when they put it together. It's just some miscues are firing, and they're also getting hit a lot. I've been seeing a lot of games where the hit totals are not where you'd like it to be. Yeah, so hopefully we can get that addressed.
Yeah, and in that Chicago game, obviously, Chicago took the lead halfway through the first period, and then Mikko had that disgusting backhand to tie it. And we're like, all right, yeah, we're off and running. And then he had a bad second period. He gave up a power play goal and then a even strength goal about 9 minutes later. And then third period, he gave up another goal right at the beginning, about 4 minutes in. Jason Robertson got his 24th goal of the season. That game, about 16 minutes in, Mikko Rantanen his 40th assist. Matt Duchene gets a goal there with like 16 seconds left, 18 seconds left. So it's like that game was just not doomed from the start. It just wasn't good enough from the start, and that's kind of where you lost it. And then that was a really bad second period. You started on the power play. You gave up a power play goal 13 seconds in. So just like,
yeah,
tough game. It is what it is. It was a back-to-back. First time they've lost back-to-back games on a back-to-back so far this season. That was the first time that happened. So we'll have to see what happens. And then today, Sunday, as we're recording this after kind of NFL Sunday. There's one more game going on right now, but the Stars had a little matinee in AAC Sunday afternoon game against the Canadiens, and kind of the same thing, just a little sloppy. You gave them 5 power plays. They only converted on 1. But at the end of the day, you lost by 1 goal, and you gave them 5 power play opportunities. You didn't score on your power play opportunities. There were some disgusting chances in that. I know you were at the Texans game, but I'm sure you were tuning in. But Yeah, like you had chances. They were just a little. It took them too long to get into the ozone on the power plays. I think the Stars, and they had 3 opportunities. They didn't get one. They got out hit. Had more giveaways. They had more takeaways. They won the faceoff battle, but at the end of the day, they were playing catch up a majority of the game. I know they took the lead there early in the second, or halfway through the second period, and then after that, it was kind of. It felt like they were just playing catch up the whole time. It looked like Montreal was really fast and quick, and all of their decision making and their passes, and they created a lot of high danger chances where the Stars didn't necessarily.
Yeah. We've had a bunch of really, really close encounters offensively. And, Montembeau looked pretty good
Yep.
this afternoon. He really did. But when we have those opportunities, high danger chances that just don't go in the net, that puck turns over quick. And we do not kill that fast break quick enough. And most of the time it doesn't end in a goal, but it's still, you don't want a huge rush going the opposite. And just a matter of getting back and getting into the flow of things. Because, dude, I mean, I think it was Duchesne who had one of the sickest dangles to set up a Maverick Borg opportunity. Didn't go in.
Yeah.
And then
it went cross crease.
Yeah. And within seconds, they're on the other end. I already passed the neutral zone. So really tough game. And to still get a point while not feeling great about a game like that, something to hang your hat on. But like, it's, you just feel for this. There was a lot of juice in AAC when I had the phone right up to my ear, but man, like the team feels there's something in a rut, and it does have to change.
Yeah, there's something about it. You mentioned that sick dangle from Duchesne over to Maverick Bork. Maverick Bork, best game of the season, bar none. Like, he looked confident. He looked fast. He was putting crazy shots on goal. He was just putting pucks on net in a way that we haven't seen this year, or maybe even last year. Like, that was a confident Maverick Bork today. So it's a shame we didn't get the win for him. He got that first goal on a wraparound, which wraparound goal never happens for the Stars. So credit to Maverick Bork for doing that. Wyatt Johnston gets a goal right as the power play ends. It's the second after the power play ends. So it's technically a power play goal, but it doesn't count as a power play goal. 21st of the season, Mikko Rantanen gets his 41st assist of the season on that one. Then you give up to Montreal. They take the lead back. It's 3-2. Get to the third period. Wyatt Johnston scores another one about 11 minutes in, and that's his 22nd. Miro Heiskanen 29th assist, and Matt Duchesne gets assist on that one. And then OT happens, and it was kind of back and forth. Obviously, you had the first chance, you got the draw, and they put some good chances on there, and the Canadiens put some good chances on Otter. And at the end of the day, I know there's a lot of arguing on Twitter today. I'm not sure if you saw it. After the Canadiens won the draw, it looked like Matt Duchesne just wasn't doing anything. It's not really defensible, but it's like at the end of the day, Matt Duchesne's an offensive player. If you're telling him to go guard fucking Lane Hudson, of all people, was the result going to be the same thing? Probably. There was a little bit of miscommunication between those two forwards, and it is what it is. Lane Hudson gets left wide open, and it's not the ideal place for him to be, but Lane Hudson's really fucking good, and there was miscommunication, and it is what it is. He scores the goal. You lose in overtime. You get a point. You take the lead back from Minnesota, so you're still second in the division standings. You got a game in hand, and you're tied in points with them. So there's going to be a trade I would assume after the Olympics. There's going to be a trade, and this team's going to be fine. Everyone needs to stop panicking. I know it's a 5-game losing streak, but you've got points in 3 out of the 5, so it's going to be okay. It's going to be fine. Everything's fine. Don't panic. I'm not panicking. You're not panicking. Don't panic.
We're one like Mikko Rantanen 4-point game away from just completely forgetting that we've lost 5 games in a row.
I mean, so look at this. We've got a 6-game road trip. You know who's the best road team in hockey over the last 3.5 seasons?
The Stars.
The Dallas Stars. Yeah. 6 games in a row we're playing on the road. I would assume you're coming out with 4 wins there. Maybe more. Or maybe you're coming out with points in all 6. Like, it's the Carolina Hurricanes, tough team to play against. Washington Capitals, tough team to play against. Then it's the Sharks. Then it's the Kings, tough team to play against. Anaheim and Utah. it's not like an easy schedule, but it's teams that they've already beat this year and beaten different ways. Like in a 1-0 game against the Capitals we saw earlier this season, they had the Carolina game where they came back, where it was 3-1, I think, or 2-0, and they came back and won 3-2. You've had the weird games against the Sharks. You had that tight game against the Kings. You won that one. You beat the hell out of the Ducks the last time you played them in OC. And then Utah's just a tough team. So you've beat these teams before, and now it's a road trip where they just start to hum on a road for whatever reason. I'm just not panicking. Like, it's a 6-game road trip. There's a couple of back-to-backs, and they're going to be all right.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think we want a little bit more juice on this team, but as long as the scoring chances are there, I wouldn't see a reason to panic, because when the scoring chances really are minimal and there's like one or two a game, that's when you're kind of getting worried on, is this the right line for Sam Steele, or are we really going to healthy scratch this guy? But no, like, we're still getting high chances. It's just a couple of games they haven't gone in.
Yeah, basketball comparison here. I don't know if you saw this, but Jason Kidd was talking about Max Christie. You love Max Christie, so that's why I'm bringing it up.
Boy.
So he was like, I want him to be a little bit more aggressive. I want him to take 10 threes a game. I want him to up all these things. And then Max Christie last night had a hell of a game against the Rockets. I mean, it's over 20 points. He was taking threes. He was taking shit to the rim, like he was dunking and all that kind of stuff. As long as we're seeing that kind of stuff out of Mikko Rantanen, Jason Roberts, and Matt Duchene, Rope Hens, Wyatt Johnson, and now we're seeing it out of Maverick Bork, who's been up on that second line. He's been looking pretty frisky, looking a little fun. Justin Ritzkovian's always going to do that. Adam Ernie's going to do that. Colin Blackwell's going to do that. Radek Fox is going to do that on their own. They're just going to be a little bit grittier. It's not going to look as pretty, but they're going to be gritty, and they're going to do the same thing. They're doing all the right things. It's just like that split second where you see it on defense. You're like, that doesn't look good. Why did he pinch there, and why is Thomas Harley or Miro Heiskanen or whoever not in the D zone because they pinched on the O zone thing to try to keep the puck in? Shit like that. It's little minuscule mistakes, and it is what it is. There's no time to panic. There's no need to panic. The Olympic break is coming up in a month from now, I believe. It's going to be okay. Everyone just needs to calm down. Twitter was a little bit of a cesspool today, and I need everyone to calm down. It's a 5-game losing streak, but you got points in 3. Minnesota's on a heater right now. Colorado, we're never going to catch them. We were never going to catch them unless we just started winning every single game, which isn't realistic. What Colorado's doing is not realistic. So stop trying to catch Colorado. Worry about your own game. It's going to be all right.
Yeah, it definitely feels like, when your MLB team's on just a weird lull and that all-star break is coming, like that all-star break can flip the switch for a lot of players. I remember last year, Matt Dumba was like a laughing stock, like getting healthy scratch. Post 4 Nations was unbelievable. Like,
he's good. Yeah.
That can happen with this team with that break. I mean, and probably will with how talented they are.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about the Olympic roster here in a second. So we could talk about it now. Before we do, though, Mikko Rantanen bobblehead giveaway. It's going to happen. 250 subscribers. We need more subscribers. We got to hit 250 before I give away this Mikko Rantanen bobblehead. It's at my house in Dallas. I'm in Georgia, but I'll be back next week. I'll be back in the normal studio next Sunday when we record this podcast. It's going to be fine. Everyone's calm down. The Mikko Rantanen bobblehead is still alive. I checked my cameras on the house today. It's still up. It's still there. So that's great. Mikko Rantanen bobblehead at 250 subscribers. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button on Clean Sheet Device on YouTube or wherever you get audio podcast platforms like Apple and Spotify. We've got video there as well. But in order to get the giveaway, we got to do it on YouTube. So hit that subscribe button on YouTube. It's free. Turn on the notification bell. Tell your friends. Tell your family. Mikko Rantanen bobblehead at 250 subscribers. Dom, Olympic rosters came out just a few days ago, about 5 days ago. We didn't record on Friday, so we didn't talk about it. Otter makes Team USA. Shocking. I know, really. One of the best goalies in the U.S. makes the team. One of the best goal scorers in the U.S., if not the best goal scorer in the U.S. over the last 3 seasons, did not make the team. And that is the biggest story. Jason Robertson does not make Team USA. Twitter was ablaze across all hockey fans, not just Stars fans. There were Colorado fans talking about it. There were Winnipeg fans talking about it. Like, how did this guy not make the roster? But before we talk about Robo, I do want to give a huge shout out to Jake Ottinger. He got lost in the sauce with the Robo talk. Otter making the Olympics is the coolest thing ever. As a swimmer growing up and going through college and swimming there, Olympics was the biggest deal to us. It was every 4 years. There was nothing else outside of swimming. One of my buddies that I trained with when I was in high school, he ended up making the Olympics. Coolest thing ever. So shout out to Jake Otter for making the Olympic team. He might be one of the starters. He might start a couple of games. He might start the whole damn thing. Who's to say? So I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Jake because he did get that conversation got lost in all of the robo talk. So huge shout out for Jake. I'm super pumped for him, and I'm sure he's just as excited as we are.
Yeah, and the United States is going to need him because Olympic tournaments is not for nations. You're going to play a lot more games, and you're going to need a Jake Ottinger in your net because, boy, you're gonna face some tough teams. And you said it perfectly. Like it wasn't just Stars Twitter. Like when as we knew what was coming down the pipeline, I looked towards former players because former players just have the best insight in these kind of scenarios. And man, like the argument to keep Jason Robert, you just can't. There is none. Like I do, we watch him every night, so we know. I guess he has this notion that he's not great defensively. Like Jason Robertson is fantastic with the poke checks, and he's fantastic on D. Like, yes, he's the best goal scorer in America, full stop, but that's not his only game. Like, the guys that were put on is what kind of frustrated me with this situation because it's like, you mean to tell me Jason Robertson can't do what Clayton Keller can do? Like, I love Clayton Keller, but come on, man. Like, Jason Robertson's big. Like, I know he's not the fastest skater, but when the puck's on a stick, it goes in the net better than anybody in the league. And I loved how other fans were just like, man, I don't know what they were thinking.
There's been a lot of talk about the robo stuff. He doesn't check. He doesn't play defense. Well, his defense is actually in like the 70, like those little percentile cards that they put out. Like his offense is 99, I think, or 98. His defense is like 71. So it's not bad. Like he's fine. He's just fine. And that's what it is. And he's physical when he needs to be. He's super physical in the playoffs. Like we've already seen that. He checks a lot more. He throws a lot of dirty hits and punches and cross checks after the whistle. Like he's doing all the things that a hockey player does. The other thing is that it's the Olympics. It's not going to be an NHL playoff or Four Nations type of physicality. The Olympics doesn't allow that. Robo would benefit from that. He would be able to score more because they're not allowing that type of physicality. And then you mentioned Clayton Keller. I'm fine with that. He's really super skilled and he's fast and he does all these little things and he can play center. Robo can't do that. That's fine. But you need wingers. You need guys to score the fucking puck. And you're going to put JT Miller and Vincent Trocheck on the team and not Adam Fox. Like, if we're going to bring a Ranger, we're bringing Adam Fox. I'm not bringing those two fucks. Like, that's my problem. It's like, it's going to be really strange to root for Team USA because we're American. We're going to root for Team USA. We love Team USA. But you got that damn flag back there, and that flag's just staring at me in the face. And I want to root for Finland because they didn't bring Robo. Like, it just seems like Bill Guerin just completely missed the mark. Like, he had made his mind up like 4 months ago before the season started. And now Jason Robertson is the hottest goal scorer in the world, not just in Team USA. And he's been that way since 22-23 season. He's scored the most goals and had the second most points as an American-born player over those 3 years. It's egregious to leave him off of the Team USA roster. And I don't understand it. But if there is an injury, he would probably be the first one called. Maybe not. It just seems like he's nowhere near this roster. And I can't believe that Bill Guerin and whoever else is running the GM folk for Team USA is just looking at this guy and is like, you know what? We can leave him home on smaller ice in a less physical game over there in Milan. Let's just leave the guy that would benefit from that at home. You've lost. I saw a tweet, Dom. Sorry, I'm going long. Saw a tweet the other day. It was like the last 5 giant international moments for gold medals or silver medals or whatever it is for Team USA, and they've all lost by 1 goal. You know a guy that could get you 1 goal in a big game?
Number 21.
Number 21. Do something for me. Jason Robertson, get on the fucking team. It's ridiculous. They just lose by 1 goal every time, and they don't have someone like Austin Matthews missed the net multiple times in Four Nations last year. Jason Robertson might have missed the net too, but at least that's another threat out there instead of having JT Miller on that line. Like that's just what it came down to me. Is just like you didn't pick the right guy. You could have left one of those other Rangers off of the roster and put Jason Robertson on it, I would have been perfectly fine. And leaving him off is inexcusable. It's crazy.
Like, I think it was John Buchagras who was like, we're putting together projections for every single, like all the top Sweden, Canada, Finland, Czech, like all these teams. If Jason Robertson was of Canadian descent,
It's on the team.
he's making Team Canada. Like, the only roster he wouldn't have made was the one that he happened to not been picked on. Like, that shows you how bad of a miss this will be. Does the U.S. still have a stacked roster and could 100% win a gold medal? Absolutely. But this was just a giant fumble.
And the other thing is Bill Guerin's like talking about, I'm building a locker room, I'm building a team. I'm not building an all-star team. Absolutely. I agree with you. Jason Robertson's been on one of the 4 best teams in hockey over the last 3 years. And now the 4th year, like he's been an important part in that locker room. He's played a lot of games. He's been very durable. He doesn't miss games. He makes shots. That part's crazy. And then when you're building a team and trust and all that kind of stuff, and then there's that clip of JT Miller just like quitting in the middle of a PK. Did you see that clip against the Ducks the other night? He just stopped skating. If we're building a fucking locker room, get the guy that doesn't stop skating. And Robo can stop skating from time to time. But it's usually when he's on the ice for a minute and a half, minute 45. He needs to get the fuck off the ice, but he can't. That's the problem. Like, you never see Robo quitting on an ozone, and you'll never see him on the PK. So you never have to worry about that. Because there was discussion about bringing Patrick Kane just for the power play. It's like, if we're doing that, you bring the guy that's 26 years old and not 36 years old. But that's Robo Team USA talk.
I love how he handled it, though.
Yes.
Like, the Dallas media didn't grill him as aggressively as maybe a Canadian market would, but he was such a pro in answering it, because me personally, I would have not been so nice.
Yeah, Robert Tiffin, I believe, is the one that tweeted all that out. I don't know if he was the one asking the questions or anything like that, but his thread about Robo not making Team USA was great. Shows the character of Robo and just being like, hey, look, I did everything I could, and they chose not to take me. It is what it is. I can't change that now. If there are injuries and they pick me, so be it. I'm going to be super pumped to represent my country. And if I don't get to do it, I'm still going to root the boys on, basically, is what he said. So sucks that Robo's not making it, but I'm super pumped for Jake. Super excited to get that Jake Ottinger, probably number 30 jersey, because Brock Nelson made the team too. I mean, were we bringing geriatrics? He looks fucking 60 years old out there with that haircut. I know he's not 60, but all right. Off my high horse. The Finland 4, the Finnish 4, whatever you want to call them, they made it. Rope was the last one to be named because they named like 6 players right off the rip before the season started. And it was Mikko, Miro, and Esa. They made the team. Clearly, obviously, Rope was going to make the team. He's one of the best Finnish players out there. It's going to be fun to see him with Granlund as well. The Finnish 4 with Granlund, Dallas Stars legend for about 3.5 months. That was fun. The Finnish team is fun, and I'm looking at it a little bit more. I looked at the roster, and I was like, you know what? Dark horse, gold medal team, Finland. Like, they play a certain way. They just know how to, they figure out ways to win. Their goaltending is not that bad. Their defense is actually better than I thought. Like, I thought there was only like 3 defenders out here, and it was Esa, Miro, and one other guy. It's not that bad. I like the Finland roster, and obviously you got 4 Dallas Stars on that roster. It's going to be way more fun for us.
Yeah, sneaky good. Like, I think the U.S. has the best goaltending in this tournament. Now, if we had Russia in it, I think we'd know they'd be the top dog. But nevertheless, like, this Finnish team, dude, like, it was going to be a little Four Nations-y where they were giving everybody the business. And I've watched their World Juniors beat the United States. Like, it's going to be a fun team to watch, man.
Yeah. Did you see that press conference when Rope was asked about Finland World Juniors beating Team USA, and then Otter saying the press conference was over and Rope never answered the question? That was good. Yeah, I like the Finnish roster, obviously, because there's stars on it, but I looked at it more in depth and I was like, you know what? If they can play with a little bit, like, they're not going to have to play as physical as what you would in the NHL, and that Finland's going to benefit from that. The defense really isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Like, Four Nations last year, I was like, man, this defense is not good. Looking at the names on the roster, looks a little bit better, and their goaltending is pretty good. So I'm excited about Team Finland. And then obviously Team Canada, absolutely fucking stacked. Crazy team. Macklin Celebrini makes it, which is huge. He's like probably the youngest guy ever to make Team Canada, like in the recent era. Sidney Crosby didn't make it in 06, but Macklin Celebrini did. So that's massive. But the big one there for Stars fans is Thomas Harley made the roster. They bring in the same 8 D-men as they did for Four Nations last year. Obviously, Jim Nill is a part of the decision-making process for Team Canada, as well as Pete DeBoer, ex-head coach for the Dallas Stars. He knows what Harley is about, even with the bad start this season, and he's trying to find his footing. He makes Team Canada. Wyatt Johnson does not make it, but I don't know how particularly close he would be after looking at the roster and the extras that they brought. I'm like, you know what? If Wyatt didn't make it, Wyatt didn't make it. It is what it is.
Yeah, the United States has just a god squad of D pairings.
Yes.
The depth in the forwards for Canada, like
Unreal.
you could make a team that could medal with their B team. Like that's how now Canadian forwards are. Luckily, they don't produce the best goaltenders, so it's gonna make for a fun Olympics. Like I'm looking for Miko to hand out these apples and just be a pest for everybody else. And then it's good. It's going to be a dogfight for that gold. Like it's going to be fun, but I think this is such a huge confidence boost for Thomas Harley. Knowing that they trust him and he's earned that spot on this Canadian team, which is a tough spot to come by because it was tough to make this roster. And it's super good for the kid. We've always been high on him, and I'm gonna love to watch him play. Not against the United States, not against my boys up in Finland, but I'm gonna love to watch him play in the Olympics.
Yeah, and I also saw a projection that he's going to be paired up with Drew Doughty, like in the starting lineup. I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, send that in. I'm all in on him playing with Drew Doughty. That sounds fun as hell. So good for Harls. Love that he made Team Canada. I know he's American born, but he grew up in Canada, guys. It is what it is. You get over it.
Mhm.
Wish he was on Team USA, but if he was on Team USA, he might not make the roster. I mean, that D group for the US is absolutely nuts, but good for Thomas Harley. I know Wyatt wanted to make it, but he said at the end of the day, if he didn't make it, it's not going to be the end of the world. He's going out there to try to perform just like Jason Robertson said for the Dallas Stars. And if he somehow gets chosen to represent his country, he's going to be so happy and excited to do it and play to the best of his abilities. And at the end of the day, Wyatt didn't make it this time, but I would assume in 4 years, we're not going to have a handful of those guys that are on the roster now, like Mark Stone, Sidney Crosby might not be there anymore. Although I'm not going to doubt that Sidney Crosby can just do it at 41 or whatever he's going to be in 4 years. But Mark Stone, I don't think makes it, and there's a handful of other guys in that forward group that doesn't make it. But then you also got Bedard and a bunch of probably other Canadians that are going to come up as well. So competition is going to be stiff for Team Canada. Obviously, they have the deepest forward group, but good for Harls. He makes it. Dom, before we get out of here, it's midseason awards. We've played 42 games now. Obviously, 41 was the other day. Today was 42. So we're a game behind on the midseason awards, but we're going to hand them out anyway. We're going to do it. We've got 5 awards to give out, Dom. We're just going to start it off easy. It's MVP. Who is your MVP of the Dallas Stars halfway through the 2025-2026 season?
And like we can look at stats. The first half of this season has been Casey DeSmith.
Oh.
Casey DeSmith has been, I think he's still top 10 in the NHL in save percentage. Like he has been a monster every time his name is called. He has that Casey DeSmith special where he's going to give up one early goal, and a lot of the times it's like a crowded net or it's a long shot, but he locks it in, and he has been playing some of the best hockey I've seen him play. I don't know if there's 10 goalies I would take over Casey DeSmith right at this moment in time, and that was something we weren't expecting. So for that reason, and for how well we've played when he's been in net and how many PK power plays he stopped, he's my MVP this season so far.
Yeah, I think I remember it last year. Him and Jake were both like, if Casey qualified and played the right amount of minutes or right amount of games or whatever it is, that he would qualify in the top 6 or 5 last year in save percentage, which is crazy, or goals allowed against. I love Casey. I think he's a really, really good goalie. And now we're getting to see a little bit more of him based on the goalie method, and with the Olympic year and everything, we need more rest. That's a big thing for goalie this year. So we've seen a little bit more of Casey early on than I think we would have last year. Casey's a dog. I tweet it every time he makes a big save. Casey DeSmith is a dog. And I love him. It's fun talking to him in the locker room, but he plays really well. He lets in that weird one, the bad one, whatever you want to call it in the first period, and he always locks it down pretty much after that. And there might be one more goal after that, but it's always a well-earned one, and it's in a position where the Stars are still able to go win the game. So he's always giving you a chance, especially when you're paying another guy $8.5 million in Jake Ottinger. It's huge to have that guy that's making $1 million behind him that's kind of doing the same thing, just at 2/3 the amount of games, less the amount of games or whatever. Yeah, Casey DeSmith, your MVP. I like that. That's fun. That's a fun one. Doesn't no one else is gonna pick that, I don't think.
No.
I'll kick it off with my MVP though. It's Mikko.
Yeah.
He's the best player on one of the best teams in hockey. Just what he does. Obviously, I was familiar with Mikko Rantanen's game before he came to the Stars, and especially went to Carolina. I was like, I'm going to watch a little bit more of him. I love the Carolina Hurricanes. My buddy Justin, guy that really got me into hockey and just kind of started diving into it back a little over 10 years ago when we were in college. He's a Carolina fan, so when that happened, I was like, dude, you got fucking Mikko Rantanen? That's sick. I'm going to watch more of him now. Watched him. Wasn't ideal in Carolina, but not the system for him. Then he comes here, and I get to watch him in person every home game, and that is a joy. So if you are a Stars fan and you are in the DFW area or in Texas or Arkansas or wherever, and you can get to a game this year to go watch Mikko Rantanen, I highly recommend it. Watching in person is a completely different thing. He's not as fast as the fastest guys, but he's pretty fast. He's not as big as the biggest guys, but he's pretty damn big. He doesn't hit as hard as the big checkers like Jacob Trouba and all those guys, but he'll hit you really damn hard. And then his shot and his shot making ability with the assists and all that kind of stuff, it's unreal. He's a completely different player than I even imagined him when he showed up in Dallas. I thought he was going to be unreal, but I didn't know how unreal. Then we have the Game 7 against Colorado last year, and just this season, he's just been consistent. Yeah. He's just been the guy. He's like, all right, you need a point? I'll find you a point. We'll get a goal on the board. It might not be mine, but there will be an apple attached to it, and it's from Mikko's apple orchard. It's Mikko Rantanen, MVP of the Dallas Stars so far this season.
Yeah, I think it was Luds that said it somewhere. He was like, dude, the backhand passes he makes, I couldn't make on my forehand. Like, it's stupid, and he can make them from everywhere on the ice. Like, I watched him win a cup in Colorado, but I didn't know he could do this every single night, and I'm so glad he's on our team.
Yeah, 41 assists through 42 games. So he's almost an assist per game player, and that's not counting the goals. Yeah, and he's been the setup guy. He's never had to like just take over the game like he did in the playoffs last year. We're just like, Mikko, go score goals for us, please. He hasn't had to do that this year. He's been like, I'll take over in a different way. Watch this. They're going to start cluing in on Wyatt. They're going to start cluing in on Robo, and then they're going to start cluing in on Rope. And once they start doing that, I'll take mine. I'll get my shots after that. So Mikko Rantanen MVP, easy one for me. Next one, most underrated player for the Dallas Stars. Dom, who you got?
Most underrated player. I'm going to go for this season, what Colin Blackwell gives me on the ice always leads to something productive on the very next shift and the next shift. He has been the guy that does the stuff, the dirty work that not everybody wants to do, but he gets there. And we said this, I think you even asked him about it, like his ability to completely 100% gas out and then come back the next night and have a fresh body and play great hockey again is just unreal to me, because there's not very many people that can do that. And you slip up and you focus on Wyatt or Mikko or Rupe, and sure enough, you take a break. Colin Blackwell is a very talented hockey player who could make you pay. And I think he is the most underrated player on this team. I love seeing him in Dallas Stars jersey. And with the cap situation, what it was last year, I got worried, and I'm glad he's with us.
Absolutely. Love Colin Blackwell. Dog. Another dog. Love Colin Blackwell. We'll never get rid of Colin Blackwell in my heart. He's one of my favorites to talk to. He's one of my favorites to watch. He's just a dog. What he does for this team is kind of just, it's necessary. You need a guy to go out there and grind. You need a guy to go out there and do all the dirty work for you, and you need a guy to go get in the muck, piss some people off. He does all of those things for you. So I love Colin Blackwell. Love that he's most underrated for you. I'm going to go kind of the same thing, different player, though. I do have an honorable mention before we get to this. Miro
Okay.
Heiskanen. Miro Heiskanen was going to be my
Yes.
underrated player.
Yep.
I feel like he's just severely underrated across NHL circles. I think he's incredible on defense. He's a plus on offense. He's got almost 30 assists so far this season, like scoring points now like he didn't last year before he got hurt. So that was kind of the thing with Miro Heiskanen. But my most underrated player for the 2025-2026 midseason award is it's Justin Ritzkovian, dog. It's Ritzy boy. It's the Ritzy cracker. You can't get enough of him. He does the same thing Colin Blackwell does. He's just a little bit younger, a little bit fresher, maybe, is all it is. I think he adds a spark and a bite to this third and fourth line that I don't know if it was missing last year because we had Colin Blackwell and we had some other guys that could do it, but Ritzy's just kind of fit in. You put him on the wing, you put him on center, like you play with Matt Duchene. Like he was playing Matt Duchene. He's playing with Jamie Benn. Like he's playing with some guys that have done it in this league for a while, and he's just kind of like, hey, I'll go do the dirty work for you. I'll try to set you up. Don't worry about it. And then when he gets a goal, it's the biggest goal of all time in his mind. It's the Selly every time is incredible. So Justin Ritzkovian, my most underrated player this season.
Yeah, what stands out about him is he doesn't need a bunch of minutes to make an impact on the game. And you're going to get an impact from Justin Ritzkovian if he's playing in the game.
And he's also been paramount on the PK this year. I believe a couple weeks ago before the Christmas break, he was at the fourth most forward minutes on the PK this year. So he's kind of slotted in and just like told Wyatt Johnston and Tyler Shagan and everyone else that was slotting in on the PK last year, hey, don't worry about it. I got it. He's been good on the PK too, on a really good PK. So I think that's another super underrated part for both Blackwell and Ritzkovian is that how much of a load that they carry on the PK along with Sam Steele. Like it's a hard job, like to get out there for 15, 30 seconds and kind of go balls to the wall for that long and make sure there's no shots against and make sure you're clearing the puck and then get another change in so you can get the other guys fresh legs out there. So I think they're both incredibly underrated. I think they're a lot of fun to watch too. So I pay attention to them. If you haven't, from an up, we'll go to a down. Most disappointing for you this year, Dom?
Most disappointing. There will be a caveat on this one, but it has to do with injury because you can't name this player and not talk about the injury. So I'm saying most disappointed, but it's not. I'm not putting this on blame on him. Matt Duchene, like, love the contract for him. He does great, and he's starting to figure it out now in the past couple of games, positioning wise. And I'll just it's really hard to. I rewatched that hit like last week. It was brutal, dude.
It's bad.
And also you have a new coach coming in. It's a completely different. It's somewhat of a similar, but really different system. So there's an adjustment period for him, but the way he was playing last year to now, like I was confident enough to think that last year's Matt Duchene, who was playing so well, people were thinking about him for Four Nations. That's how good of a player he was. And last year, I think he was still a point per game or really close to it. And, injury has completely derailed the season for him, but I was expecting that point per game Matt Duchene, and it just hasn't happened this year.
Yeah, they traded Mush. Obviously, Duchene gets hurt game 3 of the season, and then Tyler Shagan's out for the rest of the season in early December. It's kind of the same story as he had last year, but he still figured it out. And now he's playing with different positions too. He's up on the left wing on the top line today. He plays center on the third line with Justin Ritzkovian and Jamie Benn on the wing. Like, kind of just all over the place, and they haven't found that true position for him right now. I think that gets solved at the trade deadline. I think we add another winger, and then you have 3 really solid lines with your traditional fourth line. I think that's kind of what we're looking at, but we could go right D. We could do fucking nothing. I don't know. Jim Neal's going to do something. He's going to do something, whether it's nothing or something. So we'll figure that out. But yeah, I would agree that it has to do with the injury and having to take so long to come back and for him to get his feet under him and all that kind of stuff. It sucks because we were so excited to just tweet out best contract in hockey. But yeah, I'm not too far off with that. Another guy that got a new contract, Thomas Harley, most disappointing this year. And it's kind of the same thing. It's
Yeah.
injury, it's illness, and a new system, and new pairing with Nils Lundqvist, and then mixing in Lyubushkin, and now Liam Bischel's hurt, and it's like a lot of craziness going on in that back D pair. And I think he just came into the season not healthy. He played through it for too long, and then he obviously leaves. He goes on IR for a while. Then he comes back, and then he's sick. It's like a whole bunch of things. I thought he had a decent game today. Obviously, if he doesn't whiff in the first period and that puts that shot up, he doesn't have to go back and back check on Cole Caulfield and break that breakaway up. But it was a good breakup on
Yeah.
the breakaway, like something we didn't see from Harley earlier in the season. So I'm hoping that it just starts to go up from here. Maybe the Olympic break, maybe we start to see a little bit of up incline in play over the next month, and then we get to the Olympic break, and then Harley comes back, and he's one of the best players on defense in the NHL. We could definitely see that, just like we did with Four Nations last year. So Thomas Harley, most disappointing so far. Obviously, it's halfway through the season. He has a lot of time to absolutely change our opinions on these most disappointing players so far.
Yeah, no, and I almost forgot, like, the first 5 games of the season, like, him on the power play was disgusting. The way he could hold the puck and make an opening with his patience and
That little head fake against Colorado in game 2
yeah,
where Robo tipped it from 15 feet out or whatever it
that
was.
is
Yeah.
it's literally that play is playing right in my head right now, dude.
It was so good. Yeah, Harley's gonna be fine. I'm not worried about it, and I'm not worried about Matt Duchene. It's just, yeah, and what our expectations were coming into the season for those two guys, they're below what we thought, and they're both pretty much because of injuries. So caveats there. They've been injured. It is what it is. You got to pick somebody for this award.
Yeah.
Next one, biggest surprise. Dom, who you got?
My biggest surprise this year, um I'm leaving one for you because I know you're gonna take it. So,
I have no
one
idea
that
who I'm
I've
taking.
enjoyed, I have enjoyed the way Oscar Beck has been playing this year.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
he we've kinda said it before the season started when we were looking at our roster and thinking what's gonna happen, like, Oscar Beck, just don't be a minus. Like, that's all we need from you. And not only has he not been a minus, in some games, he has thrown bodies around and he has been a huge factor in flipping the lines over and then our top lines going to work. Oscar Beck, man, like from a guy that was a healthy scratch candidate to now when he's on the ice, he might give you something. And he has been my surprise this season.
I'm also right there with you. I love Oscar. I texted you maybe a month or two ago. I was like, "Does Oscar look faster to you? Like
Yeah.
on TV? Does it pop out? Because it pops out to me in person, and I couldn't tell. And then I watched a few games on the road on TV, obviously, and I'm like, yeah, he just looks a little bit faster. He just took a jump in skating over the offseason. He obviously worked on it and made sure he got either he was healthy or figured out leg strength or whatever it is. Like Oscar did a lot of work. He does a lot of good things for this team. I like Oscar back. I'm gonna take another fourth liner though. Newly acquired, reacquired, former Dallas Star, now current Dallas Star, Radek Faksa.
Oh, that's a good pick, man.
We didn't realize what we were missing when he left. Obviously, he has that game 7 game-winning goal against Vegas a few years ago in the playoffs in the first round. He does so much shit. He just does so much shit. It's like he's kind of good on offense. He's not great, but he's good. And he's incredible on defense. He can play a little bit on the PK. He just is a responsible player. He's a big body to throw it around, and he's excited to be here. He's so excited to be a Dallas Star. This is home for him. Like, this is where he wanted to be all along. It just didn't work out with the contract and everything. Goes to St. Louis, gets a little bit more money, comes back. Now he's here for the next 2-3 years, right? So I think Radek Fox is a really important player for this locker room. We don't have any Czech guys in the locker room. He's the only one, but I think everyone kind of just loves him. He's kind of a dude that's in the locker room and everybody likes him. The reporters and the media loves to talk to Radek Faksa because he's so excited to be back. Every time he sees a reporter, he's like, I'm so excited. He can't get enough of talking. So I'm going to go Radek Faksa, biggest surprise for the Dallas Stars this year.
Yeah, dude, he makes the right decision with the puck when he does get the puck, and, like, he processes the game quick, and it was something I forgot, like, I remember when he signed, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I that was not on my mind at all in the offseason," but I'm glad he's here.
Yeah, I'm thrilled. And now we've got one more award. Dom, Most consistent player for the Dallas Stars in the 25-26 midseason award.
The most consistent player for me. I could have had Miro. Like,
I like that.
I could have had him here, but I think his play has been just offensively. I don't have his numbers in front of me. Like, he was probably my close second for MVP. Um, but defensively, like not having him for a lot of last season and having him this year, like you forget how good he is at clearing the puck, and particularly with this Dallas Stars team, who we can't get the puck out of our defensive zone sometimes. He is so vital to this team for flipping over and getting it on a rush. Super consistent. He's getting up a bunch of shots this year that I did not see him getting. Like he's getting up like a shot, 2 shots a game. It's been fun to watch, and you just know, like, you look at his numbers, and I think this is one of the best years you can make a case for that big defensive player of the year award. I know it's always tough, but we both are in agreement that Miro needs to be in those conversations because we see how good he is.
7 goals, 29 assists, 36 points, 42 games. He's a +5. He's got 14 penalty minutes. The one thing I will say with Miro, obviously we're seeing aggression on the offensive side of the zone. We're also seeing aggression and just like being angry on the ice. He's mad a lot of the time when things don't go his way. Like obviously when I don't remember was it against the Kings? They were on the 5-on-3 power play in case he didn't know if Miro needed to take the puck or if Casey needed to shoot it down the ice, and they made a miscommunication there. The puck is basically an own goal against the Kings a few weeks ago in December.
Kings, yeah.
And Miro got so pissed off he just slammed his stick against the ice. And then we see it again against Chicago the other night. He hits that corner, the glass breaks, he gets a misconduct play. It's just like he's fiery, he's passionate this year, and I think it's something that we didn't necessarily see a ton of in previous seasons. I think he understands, like, hey, up the ante. We need to go get some points, get some wins on the board. We got a cup to go win. We got to go fucking do it now. You can't win the cup in October and December and whatever it is, but you can definitely lose it. You can definitely get out of the playoffs in that time frame and have to dig yourself out of a hole. They're nowhere near a hole. They're the second best team in hockey, but the standard and everything. I love the Miro most consistent. He's almost a point per game player as a defenseman. He's going to end around 60 to 75 points probably. It's a big year for Miro. We haven't seen that in a while. And then obviously he's just incredible. The stick work on defense is just it's unreal. I don't know who else does it like that.
I think one-on-one defense, I wouldn't take a single player over Miro Heiskanen.
He's so good. He's so fat. The way that he just backskated with McDavid at that game he went against the Oilers in overtime. It's like there's 3-4 guys that can do that. It's Makar, it's Quinn, it's Miro, maybe Matthew Schaefer in like a year. I don't know. He's fast as hell. So that's about it. One of the best defensemen in the game, does not get enough praise. My most consistent player, honorable mentions. We're just going to give them to you. Jason Robertson, 24 goals, 25 assists, 49 points, 42 games. Pretty good.
Like clockwork.
Easy. Wyatt Johnston, 22 goals, 26 assists, 48 points, 42 games. Great. I'm going to go with your counterpart of Miro Heiskanen. I'm going to take Esa Lindell.
Absolutely, man.
It's the easiest pick. He's the most consistent. He's just out there, and there's no goal scored against.
Nope.
It's just the easiest thing. He's the PK merchant, as we call him. He's been really good this season. He's been scoring goals too, weirdly. Like he's had a few goals, which is strange. He's 7th in points on the Dallas Stars this year. 4 goals, 13 assists, 17 total points in 42 games. He's a +19, only 10 penalty minutes. Every time he goes to the penalty box, I am shocked. Did you see the one today? I know you're at work, but
I did see it. Yeah.
He's getting cross-checked to fucking hell to the ground, and he retaliates, and he gets the penalty. I mean, what are we doing? It wasn't Essa's fault. And if Essa goes to the box, I think someone else like Mason Marchment has to go serve the penalty in the box. And I think that's Maverick Bork's job now, is to go serve penalties for a goaltender or someone that's tossed from a game. It's kind of Maverick's job. Maverick has to go to the box now instead of Essa. That's the new rule. Essa, most consistent. Love Essa.
I don't have the hits numbers in front of me. I think Leon Bishop would still be number 1 in hits, even though he's missed this much games. But Essa's been throwing his body a little bit this season.
Yeah, he's throwing a little cross checks. He's doing he's more physical, and
Yeah.
we noticed it up in the press box back in December. I think it was early December. Sam and Robert were talking about Essa, and we're like, man, he's just a little angry. Like he's throwing hits around and cross checks in the boards when everybody's scrumming for the puck, when it's all chopped up on the boards. Like when everybody's throwing cross checks, Essa's throwing really mean ones too this year. But it took about till game 20 or so for him to start doing that. And they're like, I wonder if he's just conserving energy. It's just like it's an Olympic year. They're probably going to make the playoffs. They're probably going to make the Western Conference Finals. We just keep doing it. It just keeps happening. Maybe he's just conserving energy the first 20 games. And then all of a sudden, a light switched. It's just flipped off, and he just went crazy. He's hitting people. He's slashing people behind the play. Like he's doing a lot of dirty work. And I appreciate Essa Lindell for that.
Oh, dude, I love him. I think this year he had a 5-minute shift.
Yes.
And
He
made it look
ended the
easy.
game with 5 minutes. I think he played the last 5 minutes of a game earlier in the season, like November.
Just super consistent, man.
He's Superman on the PK. Essa Lindell, most consistent. That'll do it for our midseason stars awards. We're 42 games in. I know we did a game late. Sorry, didn't want to record yesterday. It is what it is. Here we are on Sunday, January 4th. As we record this, we're back to our regularly scheduled programming. We'll have Monday, Wednesday, Friday episodes this week. We'll have some clips coming out. I'm back in the saddle. I'm back in the studio. We're back doing some clips. You'll see them on my TikTok. You see them on our social media pages at Clean Sheet Advice on both Twitter and Instagram. Just follow us there. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube at Clean Sheet Advice or wherever you get audio podcast platforms like Apple, Spotify. I switched over to Spotify, Dom, because they gave me 2 months free. It stinks. Tried it.
I haven't, man.
It's awful. It's just like I can't find anything. And I know I'm so used to Apple, so it's easy. I feel like Spotify is just made for the computer and not a phone. I think that's my problem.
Yeah, I can see that.
But I want the Wrapped. I want the Wrapped at the end of the year. I see all the Wraps, and I'm like, man, it'd be nice to see how many minutes I listen to Clean Sheet Advice this year. I'm not going to listen to myself. I'm not. But if you did and you have a Wrapped and we're on it, you can send it to us. Dom, you got any last words before we get out of here?
Man, I'm ready to get back in the groove of things. The holidays were great. But just like the Stars, New Year's are over, and we're about to start on the heater. Both Clean Sheet of Ice and the Dallas Stars. We're gonna hit that 250, then we're gonna hit 500, and we're gonna be rolling. We're gonna be rolling.
Before you know, it's gonna be that 1,000 sub giveaway with this jersey of your choice. You get to pick whatever jersey you get once we hit 1,000 subscribers, and you win the giveaway. Just saying, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. On Clean Sheet Advice, Texas Hockey Podcast on YouTube. We'll be back on Wednesday with another episode of Clean Sheet Advice, Texas Hockey Podcast.